Starting now, 3:40. We are at Josai University. We are the Pec05 group, Arif.
My name is Ambiga.
And my name is Fikri.
And today we have Professor Kenji Kobata of Josai University. Hello, Professor.
Hello. Welcome to
Thank
Josai
you.
University.
And thank you for sparing some time for us.
Yeah.
Here we have the interview. Okay, to start off, we'll start with the question.
Okay, Professor Kobata.
Yes.
We will start off with some simple introductory question about yourself. So, firstly, can you explain about your educational background starting from your high school?
I was a high school student. Okay. And then, so I studied hard 1 year and entered the university. And my major was agriculture, not pharmacy. So you know the very similar aspect between the agriculture and the pharmacy, because for example, natural source or natural occurring compound, you know,
Natural
natural occurring compounds, like for me, capsaicin from chili. Yes, I like chili. And you can see the slide. 1967, I was born in 1966. So, and you.
Which university did you study?
Really?
Which university were you in?
Oh, which university? The Shinshu University. Not Shinshu. Shinshu University in the Nagano Prefecture. That is about 200 kilometers far from here. You know the Shinkansen?
Yes.
Bread train. It takes about 2 hours or more from Tokyo. Now, we can see the here is Japan. Vacation Japan. Yeah. The around of the university is very big nature, big forest, and so it is very good for learning agriculture. Do you know the creature?
Mushroom?
Yeah.
Mushroom.
That's right. I investigated mushroom in University. So, what kind of compounds in it? I want to know. So we found this compound. It's very bitter taste, and some toxicity, and anti-cancer activity. Yeah. So I'm not pharmacist or pharmaceuticals, but in agriculture we also investigate like this.
Investigate
Compound from natural sources. So the mushroom is not edible.
Not
edible. So
because it's poisonous?
a little bit poison. Yeah. No one knows the mushroom because it's very bitter. Do you know the matsutake? Mushroom, the very famous and expensive mushroom in Japan. Yeah, very good. And when this bitter mushroom is grown in the same place with of the matsutake. So, if the bitter mushroom grown, the matsutake is decreased. It's not good for matsutake. So we investigate this kind of mushroom to improve the growth of the matsutake, because matsutake is very good for us.
So the next question will be, as a leader now in your laboratory,
Yeah,
could you explain your responsibility?
responsibility.
Yeah, so what you
As a
do?
leader.
Yes.
What's your position?
What's your position? What do you do
My position is professor
as a
right now.
professor?
Professor in major of agriculture.
But now I'm work for Josai University
Josai
in
University.
pharmacy, and now I work in pharmaceuticals.
Pharmaceutical.
But you know the pharmaceutical or the food is very similar because both things is we take from mouth, okay, and sometimes medication is a very injection. Food, not injection. But most of the drug or food is into mouth, and both things also contain of chemicals. So food is composed by chemicals. Drugs also composed by chemicals. It's the same thing. So the food and drugs are very similar for us. Okay, and so I belong to the pharmacy to investigate, to search the food and drug both.
So you make a drug from the organic compound, natural organic compound.
Oh, and responsibility.
What are you in charge of now?
Just now.
Yeah.
Oh, first, you mean the my thesis? 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 Oh, my thesis. I have many theses right now. So my laboratory students works according to my thesis, main thesis. One of them is it's also mushroom. And I found that this compound is a new compound. So when you find a new compound, you can name this.
So you found volumolite. So you name it. So you
I name it.
Oh, you need
Why did you
Yeah.
name it? Why did you name it?
Because this mushroom names Lactarius borealis. Volumolite. Isn't that interesting?
Okay. Speaking of all these compounds, by your old word, capsaicin natura. Could you tell us something about that?
Yeah, no, just you can see the pepper, chili.
Mm.
You like chili?
Yes.
Favorite,
Pepper,
yes.
yeah. So that it not pungent, not pungent. It's very. So you are not interested in the non-pungent chili because the chili is pungent.
It's pungent.
Yes.
Not pungent chili is not chili.
Mm.
Okay. So, but very interesting. So usually we ate the chili, and after that we sweat and feel hot,
Very hot.
But very irritant, irritant feeling in the mouth. Or and if you touch the chili sauce and then you scratch your something very
Painful.
very painful. So, but it's not pungent. It has no such characteristic. But you once you eat the chili, you feel hot. So, despite the non-pungent, it's very interesting. So I investigated chili, and we found new capsule. So, do you find any difference between capsaicin or capsule?
Like nitrogen.
Yeah.
Instead of
Instead
oxygen.
of
Oh,
oxygen
that's
and
right. So, capsaicin has nitrogen in the center bond. On the other hand, capsule has oxygen. center. Just only difference is causes non-punch. It is very strong punches. No punch. It is very interesting. So, also, this name, I made the name
Wow.
because I found for the first time.
What is it for exactly?
What's for?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Is it just a nutrition thing?
Oh, so you know the
Is it medicine?
food composition is distinguished mainly two categories. One is nutrition, like protein and fat, and carbohydrate, and vitamin, and mineral. So they are nutrition. But for example, capsaicin is not nutrition. With a secondary metabolite. You know secondary metabolite? Secondary metabolite means the first, there is the first metabolite. First metabolite means amino acid, protein, and fat, and saccharide. And for saccharide, these are very fundamental chemicals in the plant or animals. So we all have this fundamental compound. We all creatures have. That is so primary metabolite. Primary, we say primary or the first metabolite. Yes, all creatures have primary. But the secondary metabolite is very specific for the species. For example, peppers, chili pepper has capsaicin, but bell pepper, carrot, not have, doesn't have capsaicin. That means capsaicin is very specific for peppers or chili.
So different chilies have different.
Yeah, that's right. So we are very interested in secondary metabolites because the secondary metabolite has many active for humans or animals.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing us with your background. So we move on to the next topic, which is leadership. Can I know what traits or characteristics do you think are important for a leader?
Oh, trait?
Or characteristic?
That's right. I think my opinion is my.
Yeah.
Of course, that's what we're here for.
Yeah. What kind of- First, patience.
Why do you think patience is important?
Because so students sometimes or often do something not satisfied.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but it's no problem because now they are during the progressive step. They are in progress.
Learning process.
Learning process, yeah. But sometimes we feel irritated.
Irritated.
Yeah, irritated. But we have to be patient for them. I think it's the same thing in a social company. First is patience, and next is flexibility.
Flexibility.
Because we often happen we have some problems. For example, if you investigate something, there are many problems. You can you fail to some experiment. Yes. And it's very difficult to get proper skill. So it's very difficult, but we have to solve them.
Finding solutions to the problem.
So it's very. So we treat them the flexibility with flexibility.
Do you think it's okay as a leader we angry to someone that makes trouble?
Oh.
Do you think it's okay?
Like just if a student makes mistake, do you think as a leader is it good? Is it good to
To angry.
Harry, I mentioned I have to be patient. So I'm not angry. I'm not angry when the students fail something. So it is very important to do for me as a leader. I let students know why it happened.
So that they can understand what
they
do better next time.
Oh, yeah. Yourselves. You can understand yourselves. I introduce to the solution how they can understand themselves. How about you? How do you think?
Me?
You, yeah.
I think patience is the most important characteristic. Because we deal with people, we deal with someone else, so we need to take care of their opinion also and let them know if they do a mistake. We need to inform them, but not with their angry way.
How about you?
For me, I think a leader should be confident and stern, a bit like not show anger on them, but like to know that this is the right way to do it. This is the
I think so.
For me, I would say vision and self-awareness, because I believe anyone can be a leader as long as they have an idea. And if they're self-aware, they know they're maybe a bit too angry, so since they're self-aware, they keep themselves under control, this and that, and they'll learn to be patient and so on. So you can learn everything if you're self-aware, but vision, you can go somewhere. Okay, speaking of leadership characteristics, we come into the topic of motivation.
Motivation.
How important do you think, in terms of motivation, how important do you think motivation is in a team?
Oh, yeah. So I think leader should show the vision. So clear vision to get the goal. So if we have the clear vision and clear goal, when we have the clear vision and clear goal, if employee or some students get lost the way, but so they can change, they can alter the way of flexibility toward the goal. Anyway, leader have to show a clear vision, a clear goal.
To be a good example to the employers.
And it's for the kids of motivation.
So you would say that in terms of motivation in a team, it should mainly come from the leader. Should you expect any form of self-motivation from your team? Should you expect them to just kind of motivate themselves to do something? Yes.
Yes.
Why so?
Why? Oh, yeah. This motivation is one of the driving force. So, if you don't have any goal or purpose, you would
Cannot refer to something lost.
silence. And sometimes the experiment is very hard to get a good result. So, but you know the goal,
Yes.
and you have the motivation you can do.
Another question, Professor, sorry. Like what you said, to find like this kind of thing, concession and everything, right? It's very difficult sometimes. It takes a long process, years to come up to find a new compound and everything, right? So what motivates you to actually go on with the research? Even if it's hard, what motivates you?
So, for example, the capsule, I'm lucky. I was lucky.
So you were lucky.
I was lucky. It's very difficult. There are a lot of things to do, but some things very difficult. But something very easy. But we don't know which things is great founding. So because the lucky one is the compound is very unstable. It's easy to break. So no one can find it because if you isolate this compound easily broken. Anyone can get the compounds, but I found the compound may be unstable. So I took attention not to break during the purification. So I prepared something. Yeah, it's according to my experience. It's a very important to accumulate the experience. So I think I had a experience to get unstable compounds.
So the main point is that we need to work hard to achieve something and to be a critical thinker, right?
And your interest is the one that made you to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
So, Professor, when we talk about leader, we need to work with someone else. And what is your favorite medium of communication to convey information?
I think most effective way to communication is directly talk with.
Just directly talking to them. Would you prefer to be kind of like a meeting, or do you prefer just go in first face to face, one on one? And which one would you?
So now my laboratory hold a meeting twice a week.
Oh, twice a week.
Yeah. And one is all laboratory members participate in meeting, and second is only just graduated students.
Talking about communication, Professor, like you're a professor, then you will have an assistant, like associate professor.
Yeah.
So sometimes you may have different opinion.
Oh.
Like you might have plan A and associate professor might have plan B. So how do you communicate with them? How do you, as a leader, what do you think?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Do you accept their opinion?
No, most of them.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll accept, sometimes opposite of opinion. Communication is very important. Actually, our laboratory has assistant professor, and two staff, me and assistant professor. And often we discuss the research project. Sometimes we have opposite opinion from each other. But fortunately, my major is agriculture, and her major is also agriculture. We have a similar background. Yes, it's very easy to understand each other. But I'm specialized in natural coding compounds. But she is molecular biology. Some differences between the two to us. So it's very difficult to understand to each other by the small details. There are many differences between small things.
So normally, if you want to decide something, you will discuss with your assistant, with your team first.
Yeah. Yes.
Before reaching to a
Yes.
proper conclusion.
Because I said we are important flexibility. So the goal and way we can choose many ways. If there are any program like something like opposite opinion, so we choose any
Find
other
another solution.
another way to achieve the goal.
So if you have communication with your assistant professor, like every day do you discuss with him about a certain research project, or do you make him do a decision and then you take over to do a decision? Or both of you discuss together and make a decision?
I want to make a discussion every day.
Every day.
Every day. That is very difficult. So, and my assistant professor is the same commute ways. So often I walk to the university every morning and I discuss something. So, for example, the method of the studies.
Of
Study and professor will study. So we discuss anything about students, like of course study or their job, their career.
In terms of image, a leader has many images. Sometimes they can be a very fearsome person that no one really wants to go to, so they end up speaking Keigo or just generally scared. And there are some leaders that are very kind. What kind of image do you prefer in general?
Job. So you imagine you are dean of any school, president school. So they always keep smile.
Yes.
It's very nice. Very friendly. Yeah.
All right. Since it's time, I think it's time. It's currently 4:22. Let's end the question. Okay. Let's conclude this here now. What's the final question you would like to ask? Do you have any advice for leaders like us, for the new generation of leaders? Do you have any advice, any words of wisdom you can pass?
You should meet role model. Role model. So it's very difficult and it's very important. Who is your role model? You follow the model.
Yes.
To become like him or her.
And ask for any advice to them.
Yes. So it's a very easy way to become a good leader for you.
So may I ask, who's your role model?
My role model?
Yeah.
My father.
I see.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much
All
Oh,
right.
you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
spending your time.
All right. Thank you so much for
Oh,
all your time.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
います。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。